We're back, guys. I'm really sorry. The Fantastic Four. We're back. We're gonna try to have fun. It's gonna be very painful. I'm here. We got Jose. We got Nick. We got Jeff. I'm Tony. Let's get started. The main subject. Let's get it out of the way. Jose, quarterback situation. What is
Man,
going on?
the quarterback situation has got to be the saddest thing about the Miami Dolphins. I don't understand how number one, we pick up a quarterback out of Alabama that's injury prone, who's never, name one good Alabama quarterback,
Joe
right?
Namath.
What do you mean?
Alabama quarterbacks are surrounded by trees in the front, right? Number one, WR1s on both sides, WRB1s behind him, tight end, TE1s. They're just there's so much talent around them that they seem to be like the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and none of them really end up working out. Then then he's
Then
he is absolutely 100% injury prone, right? And he's like on his fourth concussion. And I'm gonna look, I got my. I am just a Tua guy, but it's kind of sad what's happened, right? And we have a backup quarterback that has never been a starting quarterback, right? And so we have this backup quarterback that was, an eighth round pick, if there's even such a thing. And when the smoke clears, he's never started anything, and from a national football perspective. But he's supposed to back up, Tua Tagovailoa, right? So this has got to be one of the worst, lineups that I've ever seen in the National Football League, and it's all on Greer. I
and
mean,
I'm looking
Greer
at
got
Nick's face right now.
yeah,
He's
Greer,
in pain.
Greer, I know Greer has got to go. Greer has got to go. He picks an injury-prone quarterback, and then he doesn't get a veteran to back him up. Look at North Carolina. Look at look at Charlotte right now, right? They take Bryce Young and they sit him down. Another Alabama quarterback, right? And they sit him down. And who do they bring in? Andy Dalton, right? And what does he do? He lights it up. Why? Why? Because he can run an offense, right? Get us a veteran quarterback that can run an offense, right? That can hike the ball and get the ball to his players. I mean, look, I don't know about you guys, but Skyler looked lost out there in the first two quarters, and we were playing decent, right? But Skyler just looked, the longer the game went, the worse it got for him. And I don't know what else to say other than this is a clear indicator. Greer's got to go. No offensive line, no quarterbacks. What do we have? We got nothing for
All right,
offense.
Nick, I feel your pain. I can see it through your eyes.
Get it, Nick.
It hurts. It all hurts.
Let's
It
hear it.
all. It goes right to what he's saying about the GM. You know, you at what point do you say enough is enough? You're trucking the same offensive line out there week one, then week two, then week three, and it's getting worse. I mean, we're snapping the ball, and they're just coming right up the gut. What are we doing?
We can't keep a quarterback upright.
No.
We got two quarter QB1, QB2 out.
That
Yeah.
that was my thing. Tua was lucky he was on IR. Okay, he would have
Yeah,
been dead
dead.
against Seattle. They would have been carting him out and taking him to the morgue, not to the hospital.
Nobody's
Okay.
safe. Nobody's safe in the backfield
you know,
in Miami.
It's like
I can't judge Skylar Thompson because he never had any chance. Okay. And
who's in fear?
yeah, I mean, and also the play calling is like, okay, you have a backup quarterback, not experienced. You're the defense. What do? You're gonna rush the passer. Okay, you're gonna rush the passer and keep people from going from outside. Keep protecting us the screen, little dunk passes, and rush out and just rush them. Give them the middle. Whenever the Dolphins ran up the middle, they got yardage. Achane got some serious yardage up the middle.
Yeah.
So what does our glorious coach decide to do? Let's keep on trying to throw the ball.
On it to the
Take
outside.
what they give you. Okay.
Look, and I don't know about you guys, but when Tim, is it Boyle or Doyle?
Boyle.
With the B,
Boyle.
right?
Boyle.
When Tim Boyle came in, it almost seemed like he had been there for a while, right? Even though we just pulled him off the street, right? And the longer he got, the longer he got more. If he would have started at the beginning of the game, we would have won that game.
No.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well,
That was garbage time.
That goes back to what I said about the backup quarterback. Your starter goes down in the middle of the game. The backup comes in. He's loose. He's ready to go. He's calling plays. He's doing the offense. You give that backup a week to prepare, he's going to come in like Skylar Thompson. He's going to be nervous. He's going to be tight. He's going to be indecisive. All the things that Skylar Thompson was. He was just awful. And I'll say that the Skylar Thompson experiment, it should be over now at this point. Boyle right now is the better option as a backup. Like you said, he came in and played better. I can't wait to see how he looks after the week of preparation and he comes in nervous and tight, But going back to the GM, I'm all for getting rid of Greer, but who is going to replace him? There's a saying called jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. So unless you've got somebody in mind, is there a GM out there, like maybe hire Bill Belichick to come in and be our GM or something like that? Somebody that can really spot talent in the draft and bring in players, free agency. Belichick was a genius at that. He always was able to reload, restock the team, both through the draft and free agency. I mean, he got what's the receiver's name? Our receiver coach. He took him from us, turned him in one of the greatest slot receivers of all time.
Welker,
yeah.
So maybe somebody like a Belichick, but unless you've got somebody in mind, we're stuck with Greer.
Who do you want, Nick? Who do you want him to bring in?
I wouldn't. You know what? He can go or he can stay, but there's some kind of disconnect. Do we not have the right scouting? Are we lacking there? Because when you look at it, we rarely miss on the defense when we're drafting. We can't draft offensive linemen accurately. We had a few that we got that were really good. We can't get the quarterback situation under control. And we don't have a tight end. Well,
we've got when we have like 3 new starting linemen. We got a brand new center this season, brand new guard. I think our tackles are basically, and one guard are the only one that returned. Yeah. And so it's a constant, there's a constant search for a quality lineman. They're very hard to come by. 6'6", 315 pounds. They just don't make them. That runs like a deer. Come on. They're hard to find.
We're in mid-season. We're in mid-season form for replacing offensive linemen at this point. Right? Usually this is like game 10, and we're getting guys off the couch, right? And guess what we're doing? After game 3. We're looking for guys off the couch who haven't played in a while, and it's like Jeff said, you just don't. These guys just don't grow on trees. You have to grow them. And to Nick's point, we never pick the right ones. We never get the right ones.
I'm going to say something that's really going to piss off a lot of people, and I don't care. In fact, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to yeah. Last week I said the Dolphins lost. One of the main reasons they lost was coaching. Seattle, they were totally outcoached, and to me it was almost a shame the way the Dolphins performed and the way the coaching went. The Dolphins had 11 penalties in that game. Okay, now you have penalty for like pass interference or or on sports like a late hit, somebody playing really hard and just one of those things. That's fine. No, most of the penalties were like delay of games,
Pre-snap.
holding,
Floppy.
illegal
Yeah.
motion. The
Yeah.
players weren't ready.
It was
Okay,
just-
those were stupid mental errors. And when it comes to mental errors, there's only one person to blame.
That's right.
Okay, it's the coach.
100%.
Now I know he came in here and everybody liked the guy. He was young, he was funny. People loved him. They love his press conferences. The city just loved this guy. He's in over his head. When the
That's all.
the Dolphins got good, but when it came to the Dolphins haven't won one game since he's been here that really, really mattered at the end of the season or the playoffs. When they'll say, "Oh, the Dolphins have to win this game," they didn't, and there's only one person to blame.
Look,
Let's face it, they're soft. We've got a soft team. When Shula was coach, they would do 2-a-days, and he would not allow water on the practice field. Okay,
and then after
the second practice that day, they would run what they called gassers, and that's a 12-minute run, and each player had its own distance that he had to cover in 12 minutes. A lineman had to go 50 feet. But a wide receiver had to do 3 or 4 laps around the field. It was called gassers. It was a 12-minute run.
All right. Well, now there are new rules in the NFL.
This is after 2 practices.
They can't do that now. It's against the rules.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a soft team. That's why the whole NFL has gone soft. The injuries are running rampant in the NFL. It's not just the Dolphins.
Well, they're trying to protect their investment.
Well,
they'd rather if they're going to get hurt, they'd rather be hurt during a game than on the practice field. And they don't want to wear them out because they also don't want to wear the players out because the game when Shula was coaching, the Dolphins were good back then. It was a 14-game season.
Yeah.
Now it's
and they won, and he averaged 10 wins a year running gassers.
It was automatic. 10 games was automatic.
The lack of practice affects all the teams. They have to play by the same rules. I just don't see right now this guy being the coach. Remember good old Bum Phillips? Remember him?
Yeah.
And he used to say about Shula, he'd beat you with hisins and he'd take urine and beat you with them too if you swap teams. McDaniels is not that kind of coach. I don't see him as that kind of coach right now. I don't
look, hey, as a quarterback, you can have a couple of fumbles and an interception as long as you win.
Yeah.
Right. And the same thing with coach. Coach can have his antics. He can be funny, right? He can be who he is as long as you're winning.
Right.
Right. When you start to lose like we are now, we're at 1-2, you're going to catch heat for all the stuff that he's been doing. And just like you said, Tony, he's not living up to his potential at this point. And even he admitted, we have to be a little bit more prepared. It was he said, this was my fault. I need to prepare us a little bit better than that, right? Which to me, I'm asking him, what are we doing in the first place if you're not being prepared, if you're not getting prepared for Seattle? That was a perfectly winnable game.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. The Dolphins have played 3 games. They got their butts kicked in 2 of them, and they barely beat the Jaguars at home.
They're bad.
Okay.
We have not had.
They're bad.
All year.
Yeah.
Did you see what the Buffalo Bills did to them? 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
We haven't had the lead at all this season.
No, not for a single second.
Nope.
Except for the end of that one
seriously,
game,
I didn't
the
even know
Jaguar
that.
game. Yep.
Yeah, we're the only.
Not even the Jaguar game. We didn't have the lead until the clock struck 0. So not even 1 second of that game did we have the lead.
And I
Gotta
look
give
at
a play calling.
I look at the Dolphins right now, and I was saying, okay, Buffalo's probably still going to win the Eastern Conference, and Miami might be slick in as a wild card. The Dolphins aren't even the second best team in their
The
division.
Jets are probably
the
better.
Jets are probably better, and I hate that. Okay, the Dolphins can win 2 games as long as those 2 games they win are against the Jets. I'm happy. Okay.
We all agree with that.
So, okay, Jeff, you said you wanted to talk about the good things that happened Sunday.
All right.
This should be short.
That's a good lead in. All right. Well, offensively, we got Achan, right?
True.
Now he's a speedster. He's designed to hit the corner, hit the edges, and that's why we had the success running up the middle, because they knew that Seattle knew he was an edge runner, so they were doing everything they can to protect the edge. Hang on. My phone was ringing for a second. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
And so they were able to break some runs up the middle because Seattle was covering the edge, and so that's what opened up the middle for us. And so he's basically on offense our only player. Maybe Waddle. Waddle had some good catches, good runs, but other than that,
Hey, I
look at the bright side.
I thought if the offense would have been a little bit more balanced, the defense did a good job, right? Yeah, they had 24 points, but that last touchdown was more garbage. They got stuck on 17. And if we would have had just a little bit of balance, we could have put enough pressure on them it wouldn't have been even 17 points. They're not a good team. Seattle's not a good team.
They're not a good team.
Well, that brings me to the defense. The good thing about the defense, I think, was the defensive line. They played outstanding. They had sacks. They had pressure. They were shutting down the run for the most part, but they were on the field a long time. And like you said, at the end of the game, when you're on the field the whole game, you get wore down. But our defensive line was a bright spot for the team. So we've got HN, we got a defensive line, and so that brings us to special teams. Right now, the MVP of the team is our punter.
Yeah. I love it.
True.
He punted like 7 times in third play.
Certainly he gets a lot of
him down the 10-yard line, or he had him on the 5 or the 10. I mean, he gave the defense great field position to work with. So, I mean,
Nick, is he your pick for MVP so far?
I love it. Yes. The guy had to kick it 4 times on one play because there were so many penalties.
Oh, God, that game was a sloppy game by both teams. Seattle had 11 penalties also. 22 penalties in a game. That's just ridiculous.
It was bad. It was bad.
I'd also like to shout out Berrios for that fantastic 44-yard punt return.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a turning point, but then we still couldn't get the offense moving.
No, we would have the ball down on the 5-yard line and couldn't score.
Couldn't score.
Yeah.
Just crazy that you can't score from the 5.
That's right. It was 1st and 7 from the 7.
Yeah.
To that interception and couldn't. I mean, you can look. You gotta have. We don't have a quarterback with the killer instinct. He's hurt, right? This guy. It was 1st and 7. I mean, we should have. It should have been a touchdown.
Back to the coaching. That was some pretty stupid play calling, if you ask me.
Yep.
Yeah, you run the middle once to get in a few yards. Guess what? Run it again. If you can't punch it in from 7, and they're not going to let you throw the ball. So what are you going to do? Throw the ball? Doesn't make any sense.
Even if you got to do a little razzle dazzle, right? I mean, it's 1st and 7, little razzle dazzle at that point. Bring Tyreek around. I don't know. Tyreek disappeared. He's gone. I don't even know where is Tyreek even playing?
He dropped the
screen. They just double cover him the whole game.
Right?
They knew they're going to rush the quarterback and cover the wideouts, and that's it. The Dolphins can't do anything.
Yeah. But when you're down on the 7 or 5-yard line, you just bring in the big package and you just rugby scrum that thing across the goal line.
Yeah,
you do it 4 plays.
Run it 4 times.
They tried to do some time. They tried to throw a timing pattern. This is a quarterback. What timing? It's a backup quarterback. You don't run a timing. This ain't Marino the Duper, okay?
or Tua to Tyreek. I mean, that's all timing. That's just 100% timing. I mean, I just don't. That should have been 3 pushes in a row.
I'm going to throw this one out there.
4.
All right.
You do it. You go for it on 4th down. Don't even think about a field goal.
Yeah. We needed that.
You get it down to the 1, 4th down. You either punch it in or you don't.
I'm going to throw this one out there. 3 games. Dolphins are 1-2. the Jaguar game, if you take away that 180-yard touchdown by Tyreek Hill, which was on blown coverage, okay, by the Jaguars, the Dolphins are 0-3.
Yeah.
Or the fumble. They
Yeah.
were going into the end zone with that fumble.
That guy Etienne for the Jaguars, he never fumbles.
No.
Well, the fortunate thing is we're going to be playing an 0-3 team on Monday night. So
great.
this is going to be our best chance. Monday night is to go in and get this win.
Well, I'm excited about the tailgate on Monday night.
That should be fun.
We always win there.
We always win there.
Always win at the tailgate.
Oh yeah, we always win there.
We're undefeated.
Well, as Jeff mentioned, we're playing the Titans next week. I'm going to ask for our picks, but this is going to be painful. I don't have my list in front of me. Nick, you thought the Dolphins were going to lose last against Seattle, right? Or who was it?
I had them winning by 3.
Who had them picking Dolphins losing? Jose, was you, right? No,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Not me. I had him. Yeah. I had some ridiculous score.
Yeah. So Jeff is one up on all of us. He's 1-2. He's 1-1. We're 0-2. So Jeff, you get to be the first pick. Dolphins, Titans.
I'm picking the Dolphins in this one. I think that with Boyle, I saw some good things from him. I saw accurate throws. I saw pocket awareness. All the things that Skylar Thompson did not have. It's just a matter of if he can learn the playbook. What has he been here a week?
Yeah.
If he can learn the playbook and he doesn't get all tight and nervous, having that week to prepare and think about it, once it gets in your head, like it did with Skylar, the Dolphin offense was designed for Tua to take the ball and wing it. He was, not hold the ball, not second guess, not do second reads and things like that. You snap the ball and you let it go. And you may get a few interceptions from that, but you're going to get a lot of receptions, and you're going to have a chance to win the game. So I'm picking the Dolphins. It's probably going to be low scoring. I'm going to say 17-12.
Nick?
Dolphins.
All right.
What do you think, Nick? How do you think the game's going to go?
It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly. Ugly. I'm going to go with Miami winning 18-14.
Jose.
I think the Miami Dolphins are embarrassed and they got a lot to prove. And I think that unfortunately for the Titans, they're going to run into a buzzsaw, right? At home on Monday night, it's going to be 35-7 Miami.
Wow.
35-7.
35.
35 because we're that. They're that.
Hunter scoring all those touchdowns.
Hang with me, baby. You'll see.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins. Probably 17-10. I think it's going to be decided by somebody messing up. A fumble, an interception, somebody doing something stupid. And it's not going to be, like I'm with Nick, it's not going to be a pretty game. It's going to be ugly. There's going to be a lot of booing. I expect the Titans to be looking at the Seattle tape and going, oh, we can do that. And they probably will. I don't know who's going to be starting. Have they announced the starting quarterback for the Dolphins yet?
It's got to be Boyle. I mean, who else can it be?
I don't know. I saw Boyle come in garbage time where all Seattle was doing was just hanging back and go, yeah, we'll give you the short passes. That's it.
What about Huntley? Right? Didn't we pick up a quarterback? What's his?
Yeah, he'll be the backup.
Yeah.
Skylar, I don't think with a chest injury like he had, I don't think it's going to be possible for him to come in and throw deep to Tyreek. I don't see it happening. I don't think. And I don't want I'll change it if Skylar starts, we're going to lose.
No, Skylar's not playing.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pretty
I
sure.
don't know
I'm
about
pretty
this.
sure Skylar's not
Well,
playing.
I
Probably
love the
not.
no faith.
Well, I hope he doesn't play, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know about this Huntley guy. Everybody says, "Oh, he was a Pro Bowl player." Yeah, but the Dolphins picked him up from some other team's practice squad. So how good can he be today? I mean,
It's
He can
true,
run for
but
his life.
he's a run for his life kind of guy.
mhm.
And right now, we need a run for his life kind of guy, taking advantage of Tyreek running around, in the back, or out there wide open. I'd like to see him underneath center. I think Boyle, and God forbid, but if he's a pocket quarterback, he's going to get hurt. He's not going to be in there for long.
One more thing before we go. Don't be surprised if our coach McDaniels pulls it out and goes, "Why don't we shoot?" Back in the old day, what they used to call it when the Dolphins would hike it straight back to the running back,
Wildcat.
the
The
Wildcat.
Wildcat, yeah.
Bring back the Wildcat. Don't
Give
be
up
surprised if
play
you see that.
Give up the play calling.
So here you go.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's not going to get better until coach lets that clipboard go, and hires a real offensive coordinator. But I think he's really, I think he wants to be like his mentor and be that guy that calls the plays and
In time.
we,
It's not
yeah,
time for that.
yeah, and we happen to be the team where he's learning, right? And that's that. I think that's where coach is at. He's like, I'm not relinquishing the clipboard, because I want to call plays.
I just want to go into the fourth quarter with all of our timeouts one time.
Please.
That would be
Going in
nice.
with one timeout.
That'd be considered a victory. All right, guys. Have fun at the game. I won't be making it. I'll probably be out of town that day, but I'll be watching on TV. And good luck. Good luck to the Dolphins. And KR fans out there, hit the like button, the subscribe button, make some comments. If you don't like us, if you don't like Jeff's guitars, make a comment. If you don't like Jose's background, I do like the helmet Nick has though back there. That is cool.
Oh,
And Reno.
I didn't even notice that. Nice.
Okay. And I
Throwback.
know none of you guys are gonna have any negative comments about me, so don't even bother. See you next week, guys.
All right, Tony.